all-nighter. Midnight buzz, all warmed up, bring on the headliner. The boys are all here, we're fired up, and if it's your first time with us, you ain't gonna know what hit ya. It's gonna get turned, it's gonna get right, lit up bright on a Friday night. It'll go off and blow up just like we thought it would. It's about to get good. When we show up, it goes down. It's already off the hook. I've been here right now. So can I get a witness? You don't wanna miss this. If you ain't sticking around, well you should. I would. 'Cause it's about to get good. It's about to get good. Yeah, it's about to get good. Oh, it's about to get good. Oh, yeah. It's about to get good. Oh, yeah. It's about to get good. Come on, everybody, kick it up. Gonna get good. It's about to get good.
And we are live very late from Darlington Raceway, where tonight we will play host to the XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series Throwback Night. It is Darlington for the Lot 9 Brewing Southern 150 here tonight in season number 5 for the iRacing leg of this Motorstardom Cup Series. As we get ready to roll here, qualifying has already been done, so we're pretty much going to jump right into your starting lineup for tonight's race. So let's take a quick look at how they're going to line up. It is Alexander Hyder on the pole with Garrett White starting second, Jason Marshall and Ryan Barone. That's a lie. It's Jason Marshall and Connor Chafari making it row number 2. Dimitri Mundris and Ryan Barone in row 3. Corbin Collins, Braden Richard in row 4. And then it's Ethan Workman and Ethan Harrison running at your top 10. And all of a sudden it's Ryan Bogey, who's got the next rest of our starting lineup.
In row number 6, we have Michael Walls with Larry Miles. Row number 7, Christian Visconti with Oscar Enriquez. Row number 8, Jason Samito, TJ Lear. Row number 9, Bradley Sawinski with Jay Mulder. And right out your top 20, Matthew Logan and Hunter Collier.
You got the number 89 car of Aiden Smith starting 21st with Brett Bennett to his outside. Chase Gibbons and Donald Stern make up row number 12. Row 13, it's Ryan Kame and Jeff Acevedo. It's Quincy Strawhacker and James Yusa back in row 14. And running at your field of 30, it's Gabe Cazzola and Brandon Thomas. We'll see how this race plays out tonight. Of course, it is Darlington. It's going to be tricky for these drivers, Ryan.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tricky, especially coming into this race with these newer cars from last season. Although last season we went caution-free the whole Darlington race, so we'll see if these drivers can do that same thing.
Hopefully they can. Now, it is technically throwback night. There are some throwback schemes, it looks like, out here. I don't know if Trading Paints has decided to properly show everything or if we're having issues. So we'll hit the button and just kind of see maybe if anything pops up. But I see some schemes that are definitely throwbacks. I believe it's 09 and Praven Richard. That is a Michael Waltrip throwback, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe a Martin Truex Jr., but I believe it's Michael Waltrip, among others paint schemes that we see in this field. But getting ready to go racing 100 laps at this historic racetrack course, shaped the way it is because of a minnow pond when it was first built that kind of held up the track builders from making it the way it wanted it to be. So we have this nice, unique shaped oval that will play host to this race here tonight. It's 100 laps in the Southern 150 Darlington Raceway, and the XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series is underway. Lap number 1, it's Alexander Hyder leading, a very usual position for this 24 machine out in front. He's got Garrett White trailing right behind him. They're keeping it close with this 2014.
Yeah, and all the initial start there, we saw a whole bunch of cars come off turn 2 very sideways. One car actually spun to the inside wall. That was Bradley Sawinski. so he's kind of dropped off the pack. But other than that, everyone else is still keeping it straight.
Watch them heading into turn number 1. This unique racetrack, the way it drives, it's so different from any other racetrack. You know, it's very much a throttle control. You got to watch your tires while doing it all. And it's very entertaining. It's very easy to lose it at this racetrack. And we're going to see a lot of guys, like we saw Sawinski, lose it as this race goes on.
See the top 4 have broken away from the rest of the field. There's Dimitri Mundris, who won last week, currently running 5th. Corbin Collins behind him.
Collins giving good chase, trying to keep in tow with that number 14 car.
You see underneath, trying to make that move for 5th, trying to pass that 14. Corbin Collins, 2 wins this season, so he knows how to get to victory lane, and he won this race last season as well, I believe. I'm gonna have to recheck that. I think that 71 was in victory lane, running a Dale Jr. throwback.
Just double checking on your stat to make sure. Yeah, Corbin Collins was your winner last season. A shorter race though last season, Darlington. Only 84 laps. We have got an extra 16 laps tacked onto this one, so it's going to be a little bit of a longer night for these guys to manage their stuff. But up front, battle for 3rd. Here comes Jason Marshall to the inside and taking over that 3rd place spot in that Crown Royal number 3 car.
Yeah, currently I believe the highest throwback on track. I don't think that 26 is to a real life paint scheme. That's Garrett White in that 26. He's run that paint scheme through many seasons in this league on a Xbox and stuff, but I don't know if it's a real life paint scheme or not. I know that 3 is though. It's the throwback to Kurt Busch's, one of Kurt Busch's cars.
Yeah, it's a Kurt Busch scheme. I was going to say Garrett White. The only thing I think of with a Clemson car, I know Ed Pompa ran an ARCA race with a Clemson paint scheme, but it was not this scheme, so I think this is just something he's running. But Jason Marshall, of course, running throwback colors tonight, that Crown Royal car that Kurt Busch drove before. And I believe you go a little further back, just behind Ethan Workman in the 03 car, the Haviland throwback, that I believe would have been a Ricky Rudd throwback scheme. So you got one right there, currently working up to 6th place. And then, of course, Praven Richard in that Michael Waltrip throwback up there as well. But Jason Marshall just took 2nd place from Garrett White. He is on the move forward.
They're trying to close in battle with Alexander Hyder early here in the going. It's going to be tough to catch that 24.
I mean, if anybody's got a chance to do it, I think it might be the driver of the number 3, but
a caution. Oh my. The 41.
Oh, 96 Oscar Enriquez, too. Heavy damage. Ask.com throwback looks like it's going to take a retirement here. The .com bubble going to burst, and Enriquez going to go up and hit Matthew Logan. Some problems between these two as they continue to door under caution, heading down to pit lane.
Yeah, and I don't know how the admins are going to take this very well, because the last 2 events, the Truck Series on Monday and GGR yesterday, we had drivers wrecking each other under caution. Yeah,
Enrique just put him into the inside wall.
Caution. And they suspended those drivers, so this is going to be interesting. See what happens here.
Take a look back. We're going to start to see. It looks like what happens with Matthew Logan coming off of turn number 4. Or turn 2, excuse me. Right here, just loses it. Gets help right there. I think that's the 40 car. It helps get in the back there of Quincy Strawhacker. So he hits the inside wall right here. No caution comes out because of it. What is he doing? Oh my goodness. Enriquez had nowhere to go. I'm going to be honest here. That just feels like it's somebody trying to bring out a yellow. Because he didn't get one when he hit the infield wall right here. He gasses it all the way up and ends up taking out the 96 of Oscar Enriquez because of it. Unreal.
Yeah, very, very interesting. It almost reminds me of the Kevin Swindell incident we had at Dover. Not in this league, of course, but...
Yeah, NASCAR Xfinity Series, Kevin Swindell. He just pulled right up across the damn racetrack. Enriquez, I mean, he was out back. Really wasn't looking like he was going to be too good to win this race, but out back, slow already. I don't know if there was anything else to that. I'm not seeing if there's anything else. I see where Oscar had an incident on lap 6. We'll quickly take a look back at that one, and there you see just the payback between Enriquez. So Enriquez actually spun on the front straightaway here, it looks like. This is battling with Ryan Barone, it looks like, so not battling with the 41. Nowhere to be seen in this picture. There's contact with Barone, send him around on the front. There's another incident, and that's the same incident, so it's, yeah, just, that's what Enriquez was back in the back with to begin with, but now his day is over with that hit, so, man. I don't know about you, Ryan. Do you have an empty bag, too? Because the cat's out of the bag.
I'm not sure.
Anyways, Alexander Hyder.
I was going to say, I know my cat in real life has peed all over my shoes, so that's not really fun.
Alexander Hyder, speed race leader, Garrett White going to his outside for this restart. And as we get ready to go, green flag is back out. Hyder with a big launch to get out in front.
Yeah, nice jump by that 24. You see Marshall underneath Garrett White trying to get around him, and he does, so move Marshall back up to second.
Field having to navigate this treacherous turn to exit all nice and tight together. But it looks like we're able to do so far. See Trafari's got Corbin Collins trying to work the outside lane to get by first the 03 of Ethan Workman. Not able to quite get there, not able to get the run. And now Braden Richard to the inside of the 71. He's going to lose 2 spots, make it almost 3 now as here comes Visconti. Oh, Collins is in the wall, struggling to keep that car straight. The wreck into the back. I believe it's Hunter Collier around. Somehow, some way, we don't have a yellow flag.
Yeah, this 5 of Donald Stern, he's got a whole bunch of damage on that Chevy Camaro.
Hunter Collier. Oh my goodness, look at that thing.
What happened?
And Larry Miles is on pit road, so we're going to take a quick peek at your BRN replay, show you what exactly just happened to get us to this situation. This is all in turns 1 and 2. Oh, Larry Miles gets into the back. Collier got in too hot. So Collier goes around. And then tagged right there. I believe that's 94 Jason Sabito. Another big hit there to Donald Stern, who takes a hard hit to the outside wall. And Collier's going to keep going like this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Oh, there he goes.
I'm surprised that wasn't a caution.
Yeah, how that wasn't a caution, I don't know. But Collier's trying to keep going. But there you see the field coming off of turn 4, not far behind him.
Battle for third, Trafari. Does it underneath Garrett White. Now here comes Ethan Workman in that 03. Not going to be clear coming off of turn 2.
I do think it's funny, just kind of checking back on everything they were talking about this morning. Ethan Harrison mentioned somebody should get suspended tonight to make it a triple suspension week, and it looks like we might get that.
Yeah, just to go over the suspensions. So on the truck.
Oh, Visconti slides in front of Michael Walls!
Oh my goodness.
He's got a toaster, but no Pop-Tart. Mooners to the inside now on Walls, who drops back 2, almost maybe 3 spots. Mooners fighting on the inside of this 47.
Oh, he just totally cut off Corbin Collins there. Gabe Gazzola has to take evasive action. Slow that 18's momentum down.
It's definitely wrong seeing Gabe Gazzola in a Kyle Busch throwback scheme that's to an M&M scheme. I'm used to all of his throwbacks being to, you know, just the other sponsors. So seeing the Caramel M&M scheme out there just feels kind of weird. But he's up to 11th place. Started 29th, up 18 spots from the drop of the green flag. He is the biggest mover of the race thus far. The second biggest mover right now is the 4-car, also running a Kyle Busch throwback. This one, the M&M's pretzel scheme from about 2010. 2011 won Richmond in this scheme. He's currently up to 17th place as things stand right now. And then now also up a bunch of spots. Quincy Strawhacker, that number 40 car, throwing back to Martin Truex Jr.'s 2017 championship year. It wasn't the championship car. That car, of course, was the Bass Pro Shop scheme, but it's the Furniture Row scheme that he ran the majority of 2017 en route to his championship. I think if you were to pick a day, probably the Chicagoland race that he won. That could be a good throwback. It was a playoff race, and it was in the Furniture Row scheme. So, but the battle for the lead is heating up. Jason Marshall is putting some pressure on Alexander Hyder. Marshall has picked him off by a bit every time he's had a chance to, and now he is still tracking down this race leader. Slightly slower this last time by, but he is doing a lot of good work in this number 3 car. And trying to the inside. Just getting some really good runs on the backstretch and catching up to Alexander Hyder to make this a battle for the race lead. Oh, and he knocks the wall down.
Oh. Have to reboot a little bit.
Oh, in the background there, Michael Walls just got put into the outside wall by Dimitri Mundras. Now to the inside. How about 3-1 at Darlington for a split second? Collins went for it on the inside, and now the caution's out back. It's Jason Samito who goes around on the backstretch. And we are back under caution for the second time here tonight in the Southern 150. Taking a look at your BRN replay, show you what happened to this number 94. Looks like he just catches the wall a little bit here. He'll catch it again, knock it down off the exit of turn 2, and then Brandon Thomas nowhere to go. A lazy spin, but enough to bring out a caution for this one. Just a little bit of contact. Marshall really was, or Thomas was right there on Samito's back bumper. Just didn't really have anywhere to go, and around he goes. Quick spin, back straight, and we are under yellow. The field all coming down pit road. Man, I feel like I'm watching Cops with all these pit maneuvers. Hyder has the first stall. He'll pull in and see if he can't win this race off pit road with that number 1 pit stall to his advantage. Trying to see if we got a good angle that shows down the front, down the pit lane, but we really don't. But it's Hyder handily winning the race off pit road. Shafari comes off 2nd. Jason Marshall off in 3rd. Ethan Workman 4th. Praven Richard out in 5th. Hyder, though, will maintain the race lead.
Coming to the choose cone this time, we got the 2 Chris Lilly design cars out front now. Of course, Hyder with multiple wins this season. Connor Trafari is still trying to look for that first one. Since I believe Chicagoland last season. So it's been a while since we've seen that 9 in victory lane. He's going to go top.
Field is double file. Here to go back green. Hyder, Trafari, the front row. And Hyder will mash the gas and get us back to green. We're back racing here at Darlington.
Oh, Marshall very loose underneath that 03. Oh, Workman now spinning, and he collects the 09.
If it let me get to him, there's Workman around. Richard as well, slow back here. Typical for a Michael Waltrip scheme like this. And, oh, did Workman just get in at Matthew Logan coming off of pit lane too? No caution will fly. We'll quickly dive back on the replay to show you what all happens here. Because it was a bit of a doozy trying to get back to it. Right here, Workman just slides. Richard nowhere to go. Makes contact, spins down, hits the inside wall. And then Workman trying to get fired back up. That's about karma, you would think, for the 41.
He did the exact same thing Matthew Logan did. I don't know if that was intentional.
I am not saying that, Andrew. I'm just telling you right now, I will not shoehorn that one into the broadcast. Jason Marshall in the back bumper of Jafari. I'm not saying that one. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm getting fed lines by Andrew Elias tonight. He wanted a broadcast, couldn't be here, so here we are. Hyder leading, Jafari second, Marshall is third. Garrett White further back and forth, Corbin Collins is fifth line.
Yeah, there you see Corbin Collins making a move down low, slowly picking off these drivers one by one to get up here to maybe challenge Hyder for that lead. He's still got to go through Connor Jafari and Jason Marshall, who both also look fast to keep it at 24.
Yeah, but the 71 is definitely putting up a really good run. You know, he knocked himself back a little bit earlier on. He has quickly rebounded and climbing back through the ranks. Up to fourth now, highest he's been all night, and I would expect him to keep climbing. I think he might make some quick work of Marshall if he can get a chance to. Oh, we got more wrecking on the back. Jason Semino and Brett Bennett are around. I think Praven Richard tried to pull low to draw a caution. Now the caution comes out. Don't know if that was an admin call or not, but if Richard put himself in harm's way to get a caution drawn, bravo to Praven Richard. I saw him kind of pull down, veer towards the 94 and 16, and it draws the caution. That puts the field back under yellow. Taking a look at your BRN replay to see what happened here. Semino in his second incident tonight. Brett Bennett in his first. This is coming through 1 and 2. Goes to the inside of Jeff Acevedo. It looks like again just loses it, but this time Brett gets attached to his back bumper and spun around. It looks like almost right there. Richard pulls down like that. That might have drawn the caution, honestly, with how that ran. Weird how it just kind of pulled Brett's car around.
Yeah, it looks like what happened is he got stuck on the 94, and then Jay Mulder just kind of finished him off from behind. And that's what sent that 16 around with the 94.
I'm going to look look and see. It didn't look like the 51 made contact with him at first, but likely just didn't have a good camera angle. Oh yeah, he got just that little bit, but that was enough to send those two around. But another caution. More drivers involved in an accident. My producer is currently typing to me.
While he does that, I guess we could talk about the playoffs coming up, because we have 3 races until the playoffs. Unfortunately, I'm looking at the points graphic Chase Gibbons made, and I'm looking at Sim Racer Hub. They're completely different, so I can't really tell which one is actually. I'd say the points graphic one is, but it's only showing the 14 drivers in the playoffs, and I can't see who's out. So I'm not really sure, but we have 3 races left in the playoffs, and I can go through the top 14 in points right now. Once I find... Here we go. So Hyder, it's pretty much locked in. Same for Hunter Collier. Ethan Harrison. Ethan Harrison is 3rd. Dimitri Mundras 4th. Bradley Swinski 5th. Jason Marshall 6th. Connor Trafari 7th. James Usa 8th. Matthew Logan 9th. And rounding out your top 10 in points is Larry Miles. And then you got Chase Gibbons 11th. Jason Cimino 12th. Chris Lilly 13th. And Corbin Collins 14th. Collins is only plus 13. Like I said, I can't really see below that. And actually, that was actually... I don't even know when that points graphic was made. I thought it was for last week, but apparently it's not. So just ditch whatever I just said there.
Hyder Trafari, the front row once again, heading to the restart zone. Hyder will match the gas and put us back to racing here at Darlington. Once again, top 2 get cleared out. Marshall and Collins side by side, almost door slamming through 1 and 2. Collins trying to work the outside to get to 3rd. Ooh, had a great bobble there.
Marshall takes 3rd. Marshall takes 3rd, trying to chase down Connor Trafari. I'm done looking for the right point system, because it says the last race on the Sim Racer Hub was an Auto Club race in the Next Gens on January 23rd. I don't know how this got here, but I'm just going to not focus on points right now. Trafari trying to close in on his teammate Alexander Hyder. And Jason Marshall, Corbin Collins there in tow.
Yeah, it's at a point now for some of these guys. It's not a worry about trying to get points anymore. It's just about going for a win. And that's likely what you're going to see some of these guys trying to do. Guys like Connor Trafari, you mentioned, we haven't seen him win since all the way back in last season in Chicagoland. That was the last time that Connor Trafari found victory lane here in the Motorstardom Cup Series. He has been on a massive drought for him, for his sake. The second race of last season was the last time he won. And currently now chasing down a win, running behind Alexander Hyder, who has been the dominant driver, all season. We'll see who can challenge this 24 tonight. 6 wins on the season for Hyder, looking to defend his championship, going for a 3-peat if he can get it. Makes his way down the backstretch here. 60 laps to go at the line that last time by.
Marshall tried to look underneath Connor Tafari there, heading into 3, but couldn't quite get there. Looks like the top 8 have pulled away from the rest of the field and are all just kind of in a single file train. Marshall with the run again, trying to get underneath Connor Trafari.
Trying to get there, just can't quite do it. Things kind of stalling out for everybody, but the top 8 really on a breakaway from the rest of the pack. And at tail end of that is Quincy Strawhacker in this number 40 car. Started out back, has climbed through the field through all of the carnage, and has a good run going so far. Top 10 as it stands right now. Still plenty of race to go. But so far, a good run for this 40 car.
And I remember his first race was back at, it was a road course. It was the first road course we went to, or it was the second one, Navarra. And he didn't really do very good there, but he's having a nice run tonight. I believe this is his 3rd or 4th start this season. Just trying to look to finish in that 40.
So as the field works its way through turns 1 and 2. It's Alexander Hyder, Connor Trafari leading the way. Oh, it looks like Richard Munoz might have caught the wall just a little bit there. Visconti trying to capitalize and take over that 6th place spot in the number 80 car. Corbin Collins has a moment off of turn 2. Here comes Moonders trying to capitalize. Visconti gonna send it 3 wide.
Oh, very tight.
Visconti sliding up. Contact with Garrett White. Somehow they're all gonna manage to keep it straight. What a move by Visconti, though. He jumps up to 5th because of that. Are you kidding me? It may be wet outside, but the sun is shining on Christian Visconti with that move there on the back straightaway, taking 2 spots heading into turn 3. That almost felt like a Chase Briscoe move that we saw in the real-life Southern 500, sending it down there, getting those spots. Now he's at the 5th, getting closer towards that top 3, which is breaking away, though, from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, and Corbin Collins is going to have to fight his way through this field once again. We're just shy of halfway. They're about to go 3 wide right behind 28, 18, and 89. Aiden Smith decides to back out of that. That is a battle for 13th.
Next time by will be just about at the halfway point. It's been all Alexander Hyder leading this way. As things stand, we got 22 drivers currently on the lead lap. Way back to 31 of Ryan Kane, currently the last car to lead lap. Everybody else that's out of this racer has had damage in his couple laps down or more as it all stands. But Hyder is starting to slightly pull away, which has been the story of the year for this 24 can. Some battles back here out back. It looks like it's the 4. Brandon Thomas battling with 89 of Aiden Smith. 2 of these cars, throwback schemes to mention. Brandon Thomas His throwback to the Kyle Busch. Oh, contact! Oh, no!
Wow.
Contact with Aiden Smith! They're both going to keep it straight. Thomas got the wall there. I was getting ready to say, both these drivers in throwback schemes. The 89, the Morgan Shepherd throwback. How about that one coming out on the racetrack tonight? But he's in 14th right now after that contact with Brandon Thomas. Not be too happy with that, but we'll see what that 4-car can do, trying to rebound and capitalize. Trying to see who else maybe has a throwback scheme. He wrecked on lap 1. He's now in 11th. It's Bradley Sawinski in the 28 car running a throwback to Jimmy Johnson's 2017 Lowe's scheme, just a base Lowe's scheme for 2017 with the rallies, with the Rally House logo kind of taking its place. You got an instant slow car on the front stretch right now. That is the 09 of Praven Richard, struggling to keep that car in control. Behind him, there's Ryan Kame in the 31, throwing it back to, I want to say it's Kyle Larson's Energizer Batteries car from 2014, I do believe. As these drivers continue to struggle for grip, right now one driver that's making some moves, Jason Marshall, is gaining on Trifari and looking for this spot.
Yeah, gonna try to pass him quickly here. We know he's been keeping up with that 24 of Hyder. We haven't really seen a long run like this, though, so see how far away Hyder can pull away from the field.
Yeah, just about a second lead for Hyder. But you know, he's leading this race, but there's no flatbread or fillings. This is anything but a wrap right now for this race. We've still got about 46 laps to go, make it 45 to go when we hit the stripe next time by. Hyder is just looking to see if he can close this thing out, though, and go for his 7th win of the season, which I'm going to look and see if that would be a record for the most wins in a single season here in the XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series.
Yeah, you got to think we still have, if this goes green, we still have one green flag pit stop left, and this is one of the hardest pit roads to get on. Last week at Kansas, Alexander Hyder was one of the dominant cars like usual, but then sped on pit road on his final green flag pit stop and ultimately ended his chances. So we'll see how aggressive he is on pit lane, getting onto pit road this time if we have green flag pit stops.
So yeah, just looking at the stat sheets and everything as it sits right now, last season, Season 4, Alexander Hyder won 6 races. He's won 6 races already this season with still plenty of races to go. So he's looking for his 7th win, which would be a record for the most all-time in a single season here in the Motorstardom Cup Series. But out front dominating.
And he's got a nice lead over Trifari and Marshall now. It's at 24 on this long run, just cruising away with this victory.
Trifari struggling big time in this 9 car. 2/10 slower last time by. Same with Marshall compared to Hyder. These two will continue to battle it out here. 4th place right now belongs to Garrett White with Dimitri Mundras and Christian Visconti not far in tow for that spot. Now, I'm not expecting pit stops to happen soon, but at the same time, I think if you want to split this in half, it's going to be in the coming laps. These drivers have been out there for 34 laps since they came down pit road under that caution earlier on. So right now, coming to 40 laps to go. You're talking about maybe in 2 or 3 laps, we'll see some drivers maybe split this down the middle and take some tires. But that's really very dependent on how these drivers do it, and if they even have to pit, which, I mean, I'd be shocked if they didn't have to pit. I feel like they have to pit, and I feel like they're going to pit here soon to try to take advantage of some fresh tires.
And you're going to maybe wonder if some of these drivers back here are going to try to undercut and maybe take that lead away from Hyder. with this track being so narrow, it's super hard to pass, especially on longer runs. So that track position could be key.
Yeah, big thing too for it. It's not even just getting the clean air in the track position. If you pit early enough, like we see something on pit road right now, I believe it's Praven Richard, the first one down pit lane. Maybe James Yusa coming to pit lane this time now too. But if you get off pit lane, you know, you have any good positioning, and a caution comes out, you know, it'll equalize because you'll have another set of tires you'll throw on at the same time as those guys that pit later that maybe will still pit for fresh tires. It just kind of depends on how things shake out, but also you run the risk if you pit now, get a caution, get trapped a lap down. Battle for second. Here comes Marshall to the inside of Trafari.
Marshall's going to send it in. Going to slide up in front of that 9, and he's going to take it, finally getting around to get to second. Got about 2.5 seconds to Alexander Hyder. We'll see if he can try to close in on that 24. Back here, I thought Moondris was making a move on Garrett White, but I think he backed out. Just staying behind that 26.
There's United Praven Richard right behind these two. Currently 2 laps down, coming up in 22nd place. I'm trying to get one of his laps back, which just happened with James Yusa in the 42. Just took one of his laps back from our race leader. And the difference you'll see, if I can get a good shot of this where both cars are in frame, you'll see the difference in these tires. You know, coming to the stripe, excuse me. A 30.2 for Hyder this last time by. The last time by for James Yusa, it's going to be about a 29-second lap, if not a 28-second lap. We got another pitter right now. Gabe Cazzola coming to pit lane in the 18 car. Some more drivers.
Comes down from 12th place. So he's probably going to get undercut by the 42, but he's going to be able to undercut some people here he's battling.
Just wait to see when anybody else from up front might take that decision. Come to pit lane.
I think, yeah, James Uso must have got a speeding penalty because he's about to come back down pit lane right behind Ryan Kame.
Kame in lead lap car coming down pit lane, getting lapped. 1 lap now. We got some more coming in. Connor Trafari is coming to pit road. Our second place car, third place, excuse me, is coming. And so is Dimitri Moondra sending it onto pit lane. Don't know if he got down to pit road speed, but he was coming in hot there. We'll expect Hyder to come in the next lap or two. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll see how this undercut, with him being top 3 and about 2.5 seconds behind Hyder, we'll see if this 9 of Connor Trafari can undercut the 24 of Alexander Hyder. He just needs a good pit stop here.
Trafari and Moondras both away now. As you see Hyder getting passed by Gabe Cazzola, going to unlap himself. 31 laps remaining in this race.
Oh, Aiden Smith just had a moment off of turn number 4. Scraped the inside wall a little bit, but he's got it back going straight. So here comes Bradley Sawinski coming in from 8th. And Corbin Collins, I believe, just got around Christian Visconti for 4th. Here comes Quincy Strawhacker from 7th. He's coming down pit lane now. Alexander Hyder is going to be coming in this time by, right behind that Casey Kane throwback of TJ Lear.
So here comes Hyder. Hard cut to the left to get down to pit lane here at Darlington. A tricky pit road to get onto, but he does so very smooth. And Marshall not far behind our race leader. Meanwhile, running longer is going to be Garrett White in 26, going to try the opposite strategy.
So Hyder just got into his box now. Connor Trafari is currently heading into turn 3. He's got Dimitri Mundris on his back bumper, though, for position.
So here's Trafari coming down the front stretch now. Hyder just now rolling out of his stall.
As they're going to get him.
As you see Hyder rolling off pit lane, the gap that Mundris and Trafari have. Now Mundris making the pass attempt here on Trafari. This is for what would be 12th place. Mundris is going to use the slower car of Ethan Workman to his advantage, so Mundris now would be in control of this race. When this all cycles through as it stands right now, Trafari in 2nd, Hyder is 3rd, Marshall would be 4th, Gabe Cazzola would be slotted into 5th place right now as things run, but the big thing is going to be the difference in those tires. You see on the left side of your screen when it cycles back to our leaders, Mundris and Trafari, it's been 6 laps for them. It's only been 1 lap for Hyder and Marshall, 8 for Cazzola, 12 for Praven Richard. Just a big difference in those lap times that we're going to see as these cars start to fall off.
Oh, Ryan.
No, Ryan came! How did he save that?
I don't know, but he almost destroyed Matthew Logan, who was very off pace on the apron. Luckily, they missed each other.
And that could have brought the yellow that Garrett White wanted, but here comes the 14 of Dimitri Mundris to unlap himself. Trafari not far behind, but neither is Alexander Hyder, who's right there in the rearview mirror of this 9 car.
Christian Visconti is going to come in this time. From 3rd.
Jason Samito coming in as well from 8th place. Excuse me. And there's Visconti diving down for 3rd. Garrett White's coming in too, as is Corbin Collins. All the top 3 pitting this time. And that leaves Ethan Harrison out on track right now. He is not going to come down pit lane just yet. Neither is Jay Mulder in 2nd, who caught the wall. Aiden Smith would slide into 3rd place with this cycling around. And then Jeff Acevedo 4th. Chase Gibbons in 5th. Brett Bennett would be 6th. TJ Lair 7th. And then Dimitri Mundris right there would be 8th when this cycles around here with all these drivers heading down pit road this time by. You guys are going to have to pit here soon. Working 52 laps since Harrison last came down pit lane.
Yeah, Hyder with a huge move underneath Trafari. Trafari got stuck behind a slower car of TJ Lear, side by side between the 2 teammates. Trafari not really giving him an inch.
Mundris going to love seeing that in his rearview mirror. Hyder trying to get clear, can't quite clear. Now he does. So move Hyder up to what would cycle through to be 2nd right now as they run.
Few more slower cars for this 14. Brett Bennett trying to get around him. Very loose off the exit. As Hyder with a huge run down the front straightaway.
Hyder trying to get there, can't quite do it. Trafari going to try to get back to his teammate. TJ Lair came down pit road that time by. Now here comes Ethan Harrison from the race lead. He pits now. Hyder and Trafari navigating by Brett Bennett. Trafari trying to keep tabs on his teammate, trying to see if he can't contend for this race win, as Dimitri Mundris keeps trying to put distance between himself and his 24. It's 19 laps to go next time by. 20 to go as it stands right now. Should be the better way to phrase that. As the 51 Jay Mulder finally going to forfeit the lead coming to pit road. That will hand Jeff Acevedo the lead for now over Dimitri Mundris, Alexander Hyder, Connor Trafari, who are fast approaching.
Hyder with a huge run. Here he comes underneath Dimitri Mundris. And he's going to clear that 14 off the corner.
And as Acevedo pits from the race lead, Hyder takes back the top spot, coming to 18 laps to go.
Hyder's going to pull away for what will be his 7th win of the season. Connor Trafari is going to try to get it underneath Dimitri Mundris for that 2nd spot.
Behind them, the 77 Ethan Harrison, just looking to see what he can do with these
fresh.
Oh, caution is out! I think it might be Aiden Smith, who is on the apron on the front stretch. It's going to draw the yellow flag. We'll quickly take a look at our BRN replay and see if that's the case. That's where it looks like it'll have to be. So as we take a look here, racing with Brandon Thomas in the 4-car. Thomas just lost off the corner. Smith down to the bottom, and as he slides to the track, right there, it's going to trigger the yellow. And just like that, what looked to be a runaway for Hyder is now going to come back and have a late race restart.
And there was one driver who has yet to pit and stayed out through all of that. That's your 5th place driver, 16 of Brett Bennett. So this is going to work out in his favor pretty well.
I don't know if I'd call it working out in his favor. We'll see.
Few drivers come down pit lane, but we have a few drivers staying out. Quincy Strawhacker and Christian Visconti both staying on the racetrack as the rest of the field pits.
Some bold decisions here to stay out. Strawhacker on 14 lap old tires, Visconti on 8. But it's mainly watching the race off pit road from the leaders to see what they do. I'm shocked to see that nobody's trying the 2-tire call. Hyder leads the race off pit road over Mundris and Trafari. I would have thought maybe someone like Trafari, maybe even Mundris, would have been crazy enough to try just right sides only. Not a lot of usage on those lefts. Not a lot of laps, but they don't do it, so here we are. Ryan, did you just drop some cayenne pepper? Because this race just got pretty spicy. Strawhacker pitting, Visconti staying out. That's really going to shake it up some more.
Well, we're coming to the choose cone. Visco's going to choose the inside. Hyder outside. It's going to be interesting on that, with that 80 on old tires, and see how good of a restart he can get here. But he is the control car, so just have to see what happens.
And he chose the inside where the launch has been best, but I'd be worried if I was Hyder, if that 80 car spins the tires and spins up the track, we'll have nowhere to go.
And if you're someone like Dimitri Mundris, Connor Jafari, Jason Marshall, this is your big chance to probably get around that 24. So now you're on the same tires as him, and you got a bit slower car who's going to be controlling this race under the green.
"13 laps to go. Visconti on older tires is your race leader. Alexander Hyder is second. The dominant car going to try to come back here on this restart to win it all. Mundris and Trafari and Marshall and Cazzola got to give challenge for the win. Green flag is in the air. Hyder did not get a good launch on the outside, maybe by design, as Visco clears out in front.
Mundris did not get the restart he needed there to stay side by side with that 24. That's going to allow Hyder to get a nice run off the corner to try to battle with Christian Visconti. You know Visconti's not going to let him have this easy, though.
Hyder trying to get to the inside of Visconti. Might slide him a bit into the 80 car. Here comes Trafari making a run at it now. 12 laps to go. Trafari trying to push Visconti. Catches the wall, almost hits the 24. Mundris thought about going 3 wide for second. Thought better of it, backs out, but now Trafari around the outside, trying to go for second, tight racing with Hyder.
Contact coming off the corner.
Oh,
Mundris!
Sliding across the track. How did he save that car? Are you kidding me, Dimitri Mundris? He should have slid up across the track and taken out the field. Instead, he keeps it down on the bottom, out of harm's way. It costs him a lot of spots, back to 15th. But man, oh man, what a save. Battle for 4th. Cazzola trying to fend off Garrett White, who's going to slide up in front of him. Jason Marshall stuck behind this 18, can't quite get by. And that's held him up. But now the battle for the lead, holding up Trafari, who's let Hyder catch back up with just 10 laps to go in the Southern 150. Hyder going to get the wall back behind these two as they continue to battle. Visconti on older tires is making that car as wide as it needs to be and holding them off.
Oh, we have a caution. Aiden Smith around once again.
Oh!
Brett Bennett there as well.
Heavy, heavy damage on the 89 car. This time he won't be coming back out.
Oh, 14 at Dimitri Mundris. His hood is up on that on that car.
Take a look at your beer on replay and show you what happened to this 89 of Aiden Smith. See Dimitri Mundris back there in the background of this shot. Smith. Oh, bad netcode there with, oh my goodness, that's a really bad netcode with Jay Mulder that sends him around and does him in. Oh. We'll watch it from the blimp up above. You'll see just how far away Mulder is right here. Plenty good gap, and then just the overcorrect trying to keep the car straight for Aiden Smith. And then you see the hood pop up on Dimitri Mundris. Brett Bennett spun to the inside wall as well. That's going to be Aiden Smith's night tonight. Probably the best finish a racing for Jesus 89 car's ever had. Right now it's currently scored 19th. It'll continue to fall through the standings, but definitely the highest it's ever finished before. So, Visconti stays out. So does Trafari, Hyder, Garrett White, Gabe Cazzola. The top 5 as they run right now. We got some drivers that came down pit road. Looks like Craven Richard in 12th place was one of the first takers. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out with these fresher tires trying to come through this field.
If you're Connor Trafari, what lane do you think about choosing here? You could start outside, but have a decent chance of that 24 getting side by side and possibly passing you in turn 1. Or you can start behind the 80 and try to launch with them past the 24. It's just a gamble you got to take here at the choose cone.
I think if I'm Trafari, your call is definitely to maybe line up behind this 80 car. He had a good launch the last restart. Try to line up with him and go behind him. Don't try to go to his outside and risk stalling out, but we'll see what he does. Trafari looks like he's going to go to the top side. Hyder gets to line up behind Visconti.
Hyder goes low. Garrett White up high. I mean, if Trafari can get a nice jump, stay beside this 80, he can easily pass him and maybe take this victory, but if he gets a bad restart, there's a good chance that 24 of Alexander Hyder is going to be able to pass him.
Things just got a little more tense here. Only 6 laps to go on the restart. Hyder's looking for his 7th win of the season. Visconti looking to snap a dry spell of his own that dates back to, I believe, last season at Rockingham. And then you've got the 9 car of Connor Trafari. It's been since race number 2 of last season that he found victory lane. We'll see, or maybe it could be Garrett White or Gabe Pizzola that plays spoiler, or anybody else out back. They've all still got a shot to win if they're running here. 6 laps to go from Darlington in the Southern 150, presented by Lot 9 Brewing. Visconti gets on the gas. Trafari has an issue on the outside lane on the restart. Here comes Hyder now on the back bumper of the 80. Trafari got back going. Visconti going to pull up to block him. Visco's going to make that car 2 lanes wide if he can.
Trafari stayed to the outside of Hyder, so he might be able to clear that 24 coming off of its 4, and he will. So now he just has to set his sights on that 80 with 5 laps to go.
Visconti gonna block him! Blocks him down to the bottom, doesn't give him the lane. Trafari gives him a bumper in the corner. He gets the wall. This is not gonna end well. Another bumper. Here comes Trafari, but the caution's out. Ryan Barone around in the background. And we'll see what scoring had. I believe Visconti still had it at the time of caution. So he'll maintain the race lead for overtime. Take a look at what happened to Ryan Barone out in the back half of this field. Catches the wall when he comes off it. Chase Gibbons is right there. Just trying to save it. Spins it down. Ethan Workman nowhere to go. Same with James Yusa. They both hit. The caution flies. Car spun around in turn number 2. Yeah, you mentioned last season's Darlington race. No overtime, no cautions, period, last season. This time, we've gotten a couple, and we're going into overtime now.
Well, I didn't really think this 80 of Christian Visconti could have held him off for those 5 laps, but maybe with 2 laps, he might have a good possibility here.
My Ghost Rider's not putting up any good ones here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Go ahead.
just want to let you know that the top 2 in this field are probably some of the most aggressive drivers in this league. Christian Visconti and Connor Trafari. Visconti has been suspended once, maybe even twice this season because of his aggressive driving. And Connor Trafari, they call themselves a certain duo. I don't really want to say that because I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but they call them basically a T-word duo. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't say that one.
That's what they call each other.
If you wanted to call them something like that, just call them like the short bus long distance duo, like how our team was. So it's overtime. Attempt number 1 of, I believe, 5 that we have here in this XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series. If you're new here, very simple. The green flag will be displayed. If we get around to the white flag, that'll be it. The next lap will end the race. If we don't and we get a caution before we get the white flag, we will re-rack them, restack them, and do it again. But if you're watching this stream, you're probably a fan of racing. You probably know how this works in NASCAR, so I don't know why I even explain it anyways. Here's how they line up. Visconti is your race leader. Trifari is in second. Hyder lines up in third. Garrett White finds himself in fourth. Then it's going to be Gabe Cazzola lining up in fifth. Jason Marshall is sixth. Bradley Sawinski is seventh. Ethan Harrison is eighth. Keep your eye on that 77 just in case. Corbin Collins in ninth. Dimitri Mundras is back in the top 10 now with the string of cautions, but I don't know if he'll be close enough to play a factor. We'll see what happens. Pace cars off. It's overtime here in the Lot 9 Brewing Southern 150 at Darlington Raceway. Visconti will hit the leads to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. I just had a Rick Allen moment, and just like that, Hyder doesn't get a good launch, but Trifari does. He's to the outside of Visconti.
Oh, Visconti's going to run him way up.
Oh, Garrett White's in the wall!
He's going to go around. He saved it somehow.
Garrett White with another impressive save tonight. But up front, Visconti to the inside of Trifari, still trying to hang on to this race lead.
Oh.
He'll drive up. They make contact. Visco sliding. He saves it. Trifari in the lead. We're going to get to the white flag. They're wrecking out back. But we're on the white flag. Last lap here. Trifari has the lead. Can Hyder make the last run at it?
What's Hyder going to do here to his teammate to try to take this win away?
Trifari looking to snap the dry spell. He's got Hyder trying to make one last run at it. I don't think he's going to have a shot. He'll try it, but it's not going to be enough. Trifari will snap the dry spell. He'll win the Southern 150 at Darlington.
Well, just like most other overtime restarts, we got a lot to unpack here.
Absolutely. Connor Trifari snapping that winless streak. As he burns it down. It's a 32 race winless streak. Snap for Connor Trifari as he continues to burn it down. We'll see if we can take a look back and show you what happened throughout those last couple laps. Because there was a little bit there was a lot of things that happened.
Fuck. I'm pissed. What's up, Booth Boys?
So we're taking a look back at what happened here.
Booth Boys.
Saw the contact with Visconti. We'll quickly jump back and show it again. Try to get things kind of organized here. This is the battle for the lead. Coming to the white flag. Visconti trying on the inside of Trifari. Slides up that little bit. Makes contact with the 9. Slides it. Can't quite save it. And with that, losing the spots there to Cazzola and Marshall. In the background, there was a big wreck that happened too. We're going to quickly pan back and see if we can see how that started. I believe Corbin Collins got swept up in the mix and all that, so we'll jump back. Indeed, he did. So we'll just, who cares? We're Bush League right now. We're rewinding. And here's what happened. 3 wide into turn 3. Collins gets into Garrett White. Sawinski. There's Mundras gets into it. You can see the air too. A 40 car. Straw Hacker gets around. Brandon Thomas is in it. TJ Lair gets in it. Just everybody. Nowhere to go. But Connor Trifari comes away victorious. Let's take a look at the results from tonight's running here of the Lot 9 Brewing Southern 150. Trifari takes home the checkered flag. His first this season. First since race number 2 at Chicagoland last year over the dominant Alexander Hyder. He'll have to settle for a second place finish. Gabe Cazzola able to sneak into third, up 26 spots from the drop of the green flag to finish third here tonight. Jason Marshall comes home in fourth. Christian Visconti finishing tonight's race in fifth. Then it was Ethan Harrison sixth. Jason Samito getting a top 10 after all the chaos he went through tonight. Then it was Chase Gibbons, Jay Mulder, and Brett Bennett rounding out your top 10.
Raven Richard comes back for 11th place finish. Bradley Swinsky 12th. Jeff Acevedo 13th. Ryan Kame 14th. Quincy Strawhacker 15th. Corbin Collins 16th. Dimitri Mundris, 17th. Garrett White, 18th. TJ Lear, 19th. Rounding out your top 20, Brandon Thomas.
21st place tonight was James Yusa, 6 laps down. Ryan Barone comes home 22nd, down 8 laps. Aiden Smith in 23rd. 24th for Ethan Workman. It was Oscar Enriquez in 25th. Matthew Logan coming home 26th. Michael Walls in 27th. Hunter Collier 28th. Larry Miles finishing tonight 29th. And Donald Stern rounding out your field of 30 in 30th place. So, very different race there at the end of it all, to say the least. But let's see if we can get a hold of our top 3 finishers. We'll start with Gabe Cazola. If we can get a hold of him. Hey, Gabe Cazola, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Alrighty, well, you started tonight's race all the way back in 29th. You were able to come through the field, through all the adversity. You take home a 3rd place finish tonight. What was that race like for you?
It was a blast, man. It's fun to have a lot of horsepower, not a lot of downforce, just driving a track like Darlington. I just made my way through the field pretty slow. Got a little lucky with that caution at the end of the long green flag run because I pit pretty early, but it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, you definitely were making your way through the field, and you got that break with that caution. What more do you think you maybe needed to try to get by Hyder and Jafari to go for the win?
That like wreck going at the start of that end of there. If I could have not gotten like a little bit contact there, I might have had a shot at it. But they were so fast, I don't think I would have needed a lot of luck to get past them.
Well, you still got enough to get up there and finish 3rd. A great run for you tonight here. Teammate sponsor shoutouts. We got the 18 machine up front.
Shout out everybody in the call: Buick, Justin, Jerd, Micah. They're all in there cheering me on. So that's it.
Alrighty, it's a 3rd place run for him here tonight. Gabe Cazola takes a 3rd place finish here at Darlington. Congrats, Gabe.
Thank you.
And we'll go down to Ryan, who is going to have Alexander Hyder, our 2nd place finisher here tonight.
Let's see if I can get a hold of him here. Well, you're not Alexander Hyder. You did have a good run. Yeah, it was pink. Probably another Paramore album. That's nice. I saw. Yeah, if only you could have cleared the 9 of Connor Trafari there on that restart. Yeah. Do you wanna be Alexander Hyder for this interview? Uh, Finished 2nd. How do you feel? Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. No, it's supposed to be my turn to interview, but I don't know if Hyder is gonna join us or not.
I would be shocked if he did, with him being 2nd place tonight. Usually a lot of these races like this, when he gets has a run like tonight that he had, 74 laps led tonight for that 24, doesn't want to talk to us. I don't blame him. So instead, we'll pan that down to Ryan. I'll let you interview our winner tonight, Connor Trafari, snapping that 32 race winless streak.
All right, we'll get him in here. Hey, Connor, it's the boys at the booth. You got a copy?
Hey.
Well, after multiple overtime attempts there, or maybe just one, And after multiple cautions, you come out on top for your first win since Chicagoland of last season. How do you feel?
Uh, really good. I needed that for sure.
And with just 3 races left, uh, well, 2 races left after this one before the playoffs, how is this momentum and this win going to help you towards these last final races in the regular season?
Yeah, it definitely helps, especially kind of getting me over that little hump I was on where nothing could go right. It felt like absolutely nothing. um, but yeah, it definitely good momentum for sure, and kind of gives me some, I don't know, confidence that I can actually not finish second in this damn car.
And those final 10 laps, you had multiple run-ins with Christian
Oh my
Visconti.
god.
So just tell me how that went, battling him on older tires, just trying to get around him.
So like 2019 Ryan Newman, where it'd be just impossible to pass the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Visco. Uh, literally, no matter what I could do, he would just block me so much. And then I finally got him before the green light checkered. And then the damn caution loops, or whatever the fuck you call them, sent me back behind him when I was a whole 2 car lengths ahead of him. So that was fun. Um, but yeah, I got to his outside, and he just oversent 3 because he was on older tires, and I kind of just cruised away from there.
All right, Connor. Well, you got any teammate sponsors shout outs you want to give tonight?
Yeah, Chris Lloyd Designs for not making me a damn throwback for a throwback race. So that was pretty cool. AJ Hire, of course, being the best teammate in the world. But for y'all for a broadcast and the admins for playing on the league, but I think it's about it.
All right. Well, Connor, next week is going to be another chaotic race at Richmond Raceway, some short track action here in XASCAR. So I hope to see you there, maybe in Victory Lane again.
Shoot, that'd be amazing. But yeah, I'll see you then.
Well, that's going to do it tonight. So we're going to head back to Dawson Allen to wrap things up.
Yeah, I mean, I want to kick it to you real quick, though. Just take us through what you thought about this race. You know, it started off, we had a couple cautions to start the race, and then we got a really long green flag run. We started getting green flag stops, got almost all the way through until the caution came out again. And then just a little bit more chaotic to end this race. And once again, the dominant car does not take home the checkered flag.
And I feel like I've seen that quite a few times this season, which the dominant car is usually Alexander Hyder. And this is 2 races in a row where he has led a multiple laps run up front and has come up short or just made a mistake. So we'll see what Hyder can do next week at Richmond. But for today's race, it was pretty chaotic. Well, that's usually how Darlington goes.
Yeah, it's a tough one to navigate. Darlington is, and we saw it tonight. It's called the track Too Tough to Tame for a reason, because it is too tough to tame. Lady in Black had some suitors for her here tonight, and it looked like Hyder was going to get that golden rose. Instead, it goes to Connor Trafari at the end of overtime. And he takes home the checkered flag tonight. So tomorrow night, it is the Sofa Racing League. We'll be broadcasting that here on BRN. That is going to be, at Auto Club tomorrow night. So that'll be a fun one with the trucks at Auto Club. It's tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern here on BRN. Next Tuesday night, it's the big one. It is the Slide Job Racing League, iRacing.Funny 250 to kick off Season 14. We'll see you there this upcoming Tuesday night. That's going to be at 8:45 p.m. Eastern on BRN. And then next week, it is the XASCAR Motorstardom Cup Series heading to Richmond Raceway. Tune in for that one, of course, 9:45 p.m. Eastern. You know the place here on BRN. I want to thank you, Ryan Bogey, as always, for joining me in the booth. Thank you to all of you that tune in to watch, and thank you to all the drivers who show up to race for us, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have anything to show you. For everybody here on BRN, this is Dawson Allen signing off, saying so long, and have a great rest of your night.